In today's episode, we have a few announcements to make. Then I take a long-term view on the dollar index and Euro USD, and also some potential setups on Euro Swiss franc and CADJPY. As always, we have some action from my Discord trading room. Enjoy. Welcome to our first weekly setups episode of 2020. I'm CADJPY with the FX price action community, and together with some of our other members, we will be bringing you guys weekly setups throughout the year. If you have not done so already, check out our new website at fxpriceaction.co.za for more information on what we are about. Make sure to sign up for our weekly newsletter so you can stay up to date with developments in our community, including setup ideas, training programs, account management services, seminars, and trading events. Once you sign up, make sure to add our new email address to your address book so it doesn't end up in your spam folder. We will be bringing you more information on all our services every week, also in our weekly YouTube episode, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. With that out the way, I am looking forward to working with the members so we can make 2020 a successful trading year. But without any further ado, let's jump into the setups. Enjoy. I want to start off this year by having a little bit of a higher time frame look at the dollar index. And I've got the dollar index weekly on the left here, and also I've got the euro dollar USD on the right here. Now they normally mirror images of each other because they are so correlated. Now on the dollar index, we got one of two options. Now the one option is that we did print the high over here at the end of last year, and that the market is going to come down now. However, I do believe that there's a possibility, and I think it's actually more likely that we're going to end up clearing these highs one more time up till the 100 round number, which is, as you guys can see, this nice little resistance level, and also a bit of a gap close over here. So what I'm looking for this dollar to do is, break this little trend, make a bit of a correction here, and then have one more move up to this 100 level before we'll have this big move down, eventually even breaking these lows over here. And similar on the Euro USD over here, as you guys can see, we have a bit of a trend line break over here. It's possible that this might hold and we'll go higher. But like I said, I believe we're going to have one more move lower to take these lows. You can't see the gap here on the Orlando feed, but there's a bit of a gap here exactly at the 78% retrace. So my belief is that the euro dollar is going to have one more move down, clear those lows, close that gap, and then we'll have the big move higher. And eventually, I believe we're even going to clear these highs. So a big move that I'm expecting in 2020. But let's jump down to the lower time frames to see if there's any potential trades over there. So if I'm wrong about the Euro USD and this was in fact a low, then we might be forming a bit of a expanding flat or a running flat over here. In which case we will be going higher. We did fall into quite a big little order block over here. Before this market pushed up. It's all the way back there now. So one of two things can happen. We can have the big reversal, or perhaps we'll have a bit of a correction before we're going to go shooting down. So even though I'm looking for lower prices on Euro USD, right now I'm more leaning towards looking for longs. And if we do find some longs and the market just corrects, and then we can maybe expect some lower prices, but then potentially it can also reverse and go much higher. So even though I'm expecting lower prices right now on the Euro USD, I'm looking for longs and maybe some bearish action on the dollar. Alright, so Euro Swiss franc is quite an interesting one, and what you can note here is after the Swiss National Bank pulled the floor here at 1.2, we had to move back up to exactly 1.2 where we found some resistance, and since then we had the drop, we had the correction, and then we had another drop. Now what's important to note here is that this move down and this move down is exactly the same size, so we have equal legs here, and the market came back into a little 8-hour order block here and a bit of a gap fill that I'll show you guys on the lower time frame now. So this seems like a good place to start looking for reversals, and we're going to put this on our watch list in the trading room and look for a reversal. The reversal might be a bit bigger, but I'm just going to look for a move back to this last resistance, this SR flip. And what you also can note, this was actually a bigger level. You can actually note it all the way from here. So a bit of a resistance became support, and maybe we'll find some resistance there again. So I'll be looking for this move up in next week's, next week in the trading room. And just bringing up the 8-hour time frame on the left here, as you guys can see, this is where that big move started, and the top of this last move down before the market shot up is the block I marked off as the 8-hour order block, and it comes in around about 1.07, and we've pretty much touched that just now. And I'm also going to just note this little resistance point over here, and we're going to look on the 1 hour time frame next week for reversals. So just jumping down to the 1 hour time frame. Obviously, we can't just jump into the market. There's no buy set up yet. Like I said, it is one for the watch list. Right now, there's no bullish price action yet. We still have a bit of corrective price action here. So maybe next week, as we go a little bit lower, we'll find a bit of an impulse, and then maybe we can look for that corrective pattern to get long. We'll have quite a nice little risk reward on this one. If I can just zoom out. As you guys can see, that first SR flip is all the way up here, a little bit higher, all the way up here at 1.116. So quite a nice big move if you can get in on a 1 hour or 50-minute time frame. So definitely one to watch for next week. All right, and looking at Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, we did clear some big liquidity here last week, and then we had quite a big reaction down. Now, what I'm going to look for next week is if we do find a bit of corrective pattern during the week, then maybe towards the end of the week we can find just a little short for one more move down. I don't expect a big move as I do believe that we have a little bit of a reversal pattern here, but if we do find a correction, then at least we'll be good for a tiny trade to the downside. If however this price decides to just drop and not correct, then I'll be looking for some accumulation here, and if we do find a reversal pattern here, then alternatively I'll look to go long. But for now I'm gonna focus on the short, and I'll drop to the lower time frames quickly. Now dropping down to the 4 hour time frame, we got quite a nice clear level over here. This little 4 hour order block or supply level, depending on your language. It's also this little resistance level here where the market did its reversal and came crashing down. So yeah, any sort of corrective pattern, like I say, to this area, and yeah, we'll switch to the 15-minute time frame, and we'll start looking for those reversal patterns for one more move to the downside, potentially clearing these lows and into this little block over here. That'll be my target. Right, guys, that's it for me this week. I'll see you all in the trading room.